Good morning, everyone. We're back again to break down another MLB slate. But before we get into that, we're going to give a quick recap of what happened yesterday.
I don't.
So,
I
Justin,
think we should
what you
just.
take away?
I think we should just skip over it.
Yeah,
Basically, if you saw the lineup, all it was John Gray, um, Yankee stack and Brewer stack, and they probably forgot that they had a baseball game. Both teams. Gray was projecting out well and matchup favorable. He just made the Oakland A's like they were a playoff contending team. We we kind of got like away from the chalk and stuff, and they were good reads, but it just didn't work out the way that we had hoped.
yeah. I mean, I was expecting a regression from Kikuchi and the Yankees to put up some runs. Did not work out, but you know, today's slate looks a little more appealing. But we're going to have a chalk pitcher again that we're going to talk about.
Sadly, this is, pitching is a little more interesting. So hold on, I'll bring up the pitcher thing. Why is my laptop acting up? So top pitchers right now, you got Keeney, who's projected for 34%, Framber Valdez at 12, Castillo at 14. And then kind of a big drop off. I think we just got to play Keeney.
Yeah, it's between him, Castillo, and maybe Kyle Gibson for me, but I haven't started building yet, so I'm not sure where the pricing is going to land. But Heaney at 8-9 does look good, and I understand the ownership. So
Yeah, I was bringing up Gibson just because it's a good matchup. He's only projected for 9%, and it'll probably, depending on the contest you play as well, it might go up a little bit throughout the day, but just a good matchup against Detroit. I don't really mind paying 11K for Castillo. His only like bad game was against the Cubs, and I think he still got 30 something, which is not ideal what you want him for in tournament lineups. But other than that, he's been pretty solid. Heaney looks good just based on the matchup, and he's 8,900. That's also why he's getting 34%. But I would go Heaney, Gibson, Castillo. The only reason why I don't like Valdez, it's more like this series too, because both teams can hit pretty well. So that's kind of why I don't like Valdez. He's projected for 12%. So I mean, you could get a little different and just pray that he gives up no runs, but that's kind of got the over written all over it for me. But
yeah, I don't like playing anyone against Atlanta, so I'm not going to be playing any Valdez. But Castillo is really interesting because he's basically max price, 11K against what can be a scary lineup in the cards, but we know they dud all the time. So he's a good option. Gibson is good to be contrarian in the same price range as Heaney. And I mean, there's not much else that really stands out. Anderson against Kansas City, maybe. And I don't know what to make of Musgrove in his first game back. So
yeah, I don't even remember his injury, but he's projected for 1%.
yeah,
So I
not
mean, I
on it.
guess if you really want to, I guess if you really want to take a shot on it, he he might not go 6 innings. I don't really know what that situation is like. So I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll go 5 or something like that, and no earned and some good Ks if they get the win. Musgrove is kind of like a dart throw, I guess, but there's just better options to get to today with guys that you know that can, go 6+ innings and all that. Um, Tyler Anderson just doesn't look too bad just because it's Kansas City, but we all kind of know he's not amazing. That's kind of like Musgrove. That's kind of a dart throw as well. All right, you ready to do stacks?
Yep.
This is where it actually gets a little interesting. Um, so here are the tough stacks right now. You got San Diego, the Angels, Texas, Houston. I don't really like KC that much just because they're the Royals and I hate the Royals. Um, Baltimore here. So what are your stacks right now? Your top stacks?
So I've been off San Diego the last couple slates, but I think I'm gonna hop on here. The data from Stochastic and the Ballpark Pal wasn't really matching up the last couple days in terms of like runs traded, so I wasn't on them as much. But today it's really popping, so I think I'm on San Diego. Um, the Angels look good. I wrote down Houston in Texas as secondary options, and then Seattle as outside looking in stack. That's probably my top five: Padres, Texas, Houston, Seattle, Angels.
It's actually interesting that you bring up Seattle. If you saw the stacks tool when I just shared it, they're like bottom of the board right there. But I mean, that's like really, really different to get to. And I understand why you like them. And I kind of like them as well. That's kind of a lineup if you're in uh big tournament, like the big field tournaments where there's like 5K plus people, or if you do like the whatever it is, 25K to first or whatever, you can throw in a couple Seattle bats and get very different. Just hope your guys hit home runs. Um, I think my number one stack is gonna be. Oh, I'll just kind of read off mine in order. I'm just gonna go San Diego, Texas, Houston. I kind of like Baltimore in this spot as well. They're kind of middle of the pack. 0.8% leverage, so you're getting slightly different. That's kind of it. Um, are there any bats from Seattle since you like them? Any bats that you would target specifically?
Yeah, so Seattle's interesting just because of the positions they fill. So Suarez can fill third for you, which is on some slates good, some slates a bad position. So he takes up third base. You can play Raleigh at first. You can play Teoscar and Rodriguez in outfield. Like they project pretty well, at least on Ballpark Pal. And then San Diego is projecting crazily. So that'll probably be my priority is San Diego, and then I'll see where the pricing leaves me for my secondary stacks.
Actually, funny you just brought up Teoscar. I remember we played him not too long ago, and you were like, "Is he ever going to be good again?" And yesterday he hits his first home run. I just thought that was funny. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw the notification. And I was like, oh my god, what's his price? Yeah, he's 2,900. It's fair. Suarez is probably like 3K. Oh, he's 3K flat. And then
I
Rodriguez.
think getting to some Seattle bats isn't the worst thing in the world, and who knows? They might move up later on in the day when it comes to lock. Who knows? But I mean, yeah, I don't know how well. I'm gonna check real quick. I don't know how well Nicholas has been doing. But I think like his first start, he got lit up. Let me check real quick. No, he is done dog shit. All right. Seattle is my number one favorite stack of the day. Like, I mean, like, if you check his numbers, like his Fanduel pricing and all that, I mean, he's just been brutal. And last year, I remember him being like a 9K guy, and he's 7,700. So, all right, you ready to do home runs?
Yep.
All right, you want to start it off?
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna start with the Seattle bat. I'm gonna go Suarez, and then I'm gonna go to Milwaukee and take Willie Adames, and then finish off with Jordan Alvarez.
All right, so I'm gonna go with Mike Trout. Zach Greinke's on the mound, whatever. We're gonna go Real Muto from Philly facing Kyle Freeman. I gotta go with my boy Luis Robert. He can't hit a slider to save his life, but that's gonna change today. So I'm gonna go Schwarber, Real Muto, and Robert for today.
I like those. You got anything else to cover?
No, I will say something for stacks real quick though. I mean, there's a lot of good stack options, a lot of power on this slate. So if you I'll put the link in the description if you want to get this stochastic data. It changes throughout the day because you think like like yesterday I made a joke like, oh, here's the ownership for the Angels, like Trout, unless he doesn't start today, he's a highest owned Angel, and he ends up not starting. Stuff like that is going to happen throughout the day where the lineups are going to drop, and like I don't. All right, Kyle Tucker. Let's just say he doesn't start. They might move up or down depending on who's playing. So throughout the day, stuff changes. So just keep an eye out for that. Um, Pitchers, take a shot there wherever. Castillo, Heaney, Gibson. I guess Tyler Anderson, but just kind of take your shots there. Don't be afraid to play whoever. Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
All right, cool. Make sure to just like and subscribe. Hopefully we win today. On the Twitter, we're gonna drop the lineup, so go to our Twitter if you haven't, and let's make this a good day.